New York's leftward turn Mayor Zohran Mamdani signals a democratic socialist moment in American politics. The inauguration of Zohran Mamdani as mayor of New York City marks more than a local change in leadership and it underscores a broader ideological shift now reverberating across American politics. Sworn in on the steps of City Hall at the start of the New Year, Mamdani pledged to pursue an assertive democratic socialist agenda aimed at easing the cost of living crisis for working class Americans in the nation's largest city. At just 34, Mamdani enters office as one of the most prominent figures from the Democratic Party's progressive flank to assume executive power in a major US city. His election victory last November, secured with nearly 50% of the vote and a record turnout exceeding 2 million voters, is already being read in Washington as a potential bellwether ahead of the 2026 midterm election that will decide control of Congress. Campaigning on affordability, Mamdani built his political accent around promises of universal childcare, rent freezes, free bus services, and high tax on the wealthy. In his inaugural address, he drew a sharp contrast between his vision of governance and what he described as elite driven politics. Declaring that he was elected as a democratic socialist, Mamdani vowed to govern accordingly, insisting that New York would no longer answer to billionaires or oligarchic interest. The ceremony itself carried national symbolism. Progressive heavyweights Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez headlined the event, reinforcing Mamdani's place within the party's most ideological assertive wing. Sanders, addressing a crowd that braved freezing temperature, framed Mamdani's agenda as moral rather than radical, drawing thunderous chants of "tax the rich" from supporters gathered along Broadway. As he prepares to move from a rent-stabilized apartment in Astoria to Gracie Mansion, Mamdani steps into an office that has historically served as a springboard to national influence. Whether his democratic socialist experiment reshapes urban governance or intensifies partisan backlash, his mayoralty is already exerting gravitational pull far beyond city limits. In an era of deep ideological polarization, New York's new mayor is not merely governing a city, he is testing how far left economic populism can travel in contemporary American democracy.